Greetings! I'd like to welcome everyone to the mysterious Vidya Richie Mahjong tournament. And after a small setup, since we've rolled the most time-consuming mode right from the start, we begin the first match, which is... One second. Which is mysterious doubles match. So the rules are as follows. It's just standard game, standard doubles mode, but each of the players don't know their partner. So they have to optimize their game to gain points, but at the same time be careful not to kill anyone at the table, since when one of the players gets sent to Shadow Realm, both he and his teammate will get minus 30 points after the point calculation. So there are a variety of tactics and strategies you can employ in this kind of mode. First thing is to avoid calling Richie when someone is at the low score threshold. Second is to rely mostly on sumos instead of runs. And third is to focus on gathering points from every player equally instead of focusing on one. There might also be a necessity for some of the players to deal on purpose into others' hand to avoid any kind of shadow realming at the table. So we have a second game, Ton Mikyoku, at the table number I forgot which one is it. I think it was second or first one. Yeah, it was first one. First table. So Bob has already made an uncan of Chiso, which will nicely bump him into open close to Niao range, and he has a possibility to call Richie, and he did it. He has a tanky weight for Chi-Man, which is the Dora for this game. And he has managed to get Richie, Tsumo, Ipatsu, Tanyao, Dora, Free, which is a Baiman. I also want to add that to win in this game mode, as in to finish the Hanchan before going into West round, you have to have at least 50,000 points. I wonder what Floop is trying to do with his hand. I mean, because he... Oh, right. He has a possibility of getting Itsu. So it would be Itsu Dora Ichi with open hand. Another peculiarity about this game mode is that If you are not the first player, then you'd want to focus the one who is currently the first when choosing who to run and who to target. So Bob has made substitution of Upin for Akadora, and he has Ishanten with a possible Pinfu or Shanpan weight, depending on in what way he's going to enter Tenpai. Since I don't think he's going to discard both Rianpin and Upin, then I think the only possibility for Lane to finish in his hand is to get a Tsumo of the final Upin. And there it is. Bob has drawn the final Upin and instead discarded right into double run. So I haven't made a preparation to find out what kind of nickname is this and how you read it. So I think the first kanji is the kanji for Tsuchi, which means ground or earth, and there's something else. Well, even though he dealt into the double run, both of those hands were one hand and two hand worth, so it won't impact his score that much thanks to the Baiman Sumo. So, what is his plan? Well, he has the possibility. That's Tenpai already. It's Yakuhai Dora Ichi waiting for Chipin Penchan wait, but he could extend it into Chanta if he hadn't discarded the pair of Iman. Bob's hand is proceeding smoothly. He's in Rian Shanten for Pinfu. Lane is maybe I'll. Is it right? That's right. And Flip has made another Ichi, and that's the Shanpan weight for Iman and. Oh, never mind. The Japanese player has drawn his winning tile, so that Richie was kind of pointless. So now Floop is the dealer and has completely garbage hand right from the start. He will. Yeah, everything is recordings. Sadly, I don't have a second monitor, so upholding the stream and getting on with the information flow might be a little bit hard, but I'm trying. So, Flop has the pair of tone. So, that's basically a free double tone as long as someone will discard the last one. And one look at what Bob's has done. If you are going to discard all of your honor tiles right from the beginning, you should start with the one that not only you don't need the most, but also the one that would disrupt your game the most. In this case, he should deal the tone right from the start before Floop has gotten the second one, because now he will have to discard it no matter what, unless he was going for Cheetah, but I don't think that's the wise choice here. And the more he will delay that discard, the more he's risking dealing into flop winning hand. Yeah, so he discarded the ton, and now flop is in E shanten for double ton nomi. And we have a Richie, which is Richie nomi, waiting for Sunman. And Bob also can declare Richie on a similarly shitty weight. He decides not to. He doesn't want to discard Su and Paman. That's why he dealt safe tile, which disrupted his hand. Because that would be Richie Taniao on Kanchan weight. If he would declare the Trichi, then Tsuchi, Japanese player, would deal right in, and he denied himself the possibility to Richie. Yeah, he's in Ryan Shanten, so that wouldn't be a Richie anymore. And Lane decided to defend and kept the Sunman. That would be a winning tile. Take a note that flop is still not in Tenpai. So now Bob is in E shanten for Chitoi. Yeah, he denied it once more, dealing safe tile. Well, I guess it wasn't that safe. And flip has made a can out of ton, so we have additional Dora. One of them is in hand of Japan, and we have another can. Yet another can. And this time he himself profited from that. But is he even in Tenpai? He's not. He made 2 cans without a Tenpai. What a peculiar play. And that's going to be it, I think. And the only thing needed is for Bob to discard a safe tile. So we'll be going to Nan Ikkyoku. In between games I will have to check how to read those kanji. Yeah, Flop is rushing his hand like a madman. It's 4th turn and he already has a Tenpai for Chunnomi. And there is a... That's Atozuka Tenpai. So he can only wait on Chun. meaning that, yeah, Bob have dealt in. It's just Chun. A really dangerous move, since Floop is dead last. The difference between players is not that huge, but maybe he did that to somewhat equalize the points. Not much to say about stuff currently going on, since each game we have the same scenario. Floop is rushing for cheap Yako high hands, and no one is able to keep the pace. So Bob would have a nice setup for Pinfui, if only not for the unlucky uncle of Ipin, which disrupts his Ipeko. Basically has one tile too much, and nothing interesting going on the right, and Floop is yet again in Ishanten, in Tenpai, I meant, waiting for U and Baso. Yeah, lane is kinda fucked because he's getting called by the Floop, since he had both of his winning tiles. So it was the better payoff. It was Sanshoku Dojon. So we have Nanba. No, wait, that was error. Nan Sankyoku. Third South round, and none of the players is approaching the 50k mark, so we'll most certainly head into the West round. And yeah, it was designed that way, to make the game, to prolong the game, and to force players to play a little bit more aggressively to overcome that 50k mark, to finish the game a little bit earlier when they are in the lead. Because basically, if you have 50k, then as long as you won't Shadow Realm anyone, you have guaranteed your team a victory. So is Bob going for... yeah, he did. He's going for open Honitsu with Chuns, and we have another Richie on a Shampoo wait for Kyuso and Sunman, and that's just Richie Nomi with Dora and possible Uradora. And lane dealt in. Huh. There was some thinking time involved here, so that player was thinking very hard about to take that run or not. So I guess in this Hanchan, each player decided not to go wild with their hands, and instead focus on ending the game as soon as possible, not risking sending anyone to shadowrealmed. I wonder what does the situation look at the other tables. Sadly, I am not able to check it. And in case anyone has been wondering, I will put some more focus on what I said earlier. Each round will have completely different game mode. So, as you can predict, only during this hand run you'll play in cooperation with other player, meaning that in the remaining rounds you will be able to just focus on pushing yourself to the victory without any kind of limitations. So Lane has declared another Ricci. That's a really strong hand. It's Ricci Pin Fudora 2 with a weight for Uman and Paman. I think both Bob and Ping Pong player won't deal those tiles easily. Yeah, but there's the skill. Can't beat the skill. Ricci Tsumo Pin Fudora 2. Nowhere Dora, that's Mangan. And we are heading to Sha Ikkyoku. And right from the start, Bob has a possibility to make Uncan of Cuman. That he's not doing that at the moment. A wise choice, I think. No point in discarding it, in locking it in your hands so early in the game, when if he will draw the Paman, he will have both Anko and Shunsu, which will boost his hand significantly. He also has to find another pair. Yeah. So Lane is going for Toy Toy, and I want to remind you that it's the West round, so Nan is not the round wind, meaning that he won't get Yakuhai for the pawn of Nan. And he's doing it. I think that was a pretty nice draw. He's in Ishanten. Lane, after third call, he's still not in Tenpai. And he is. Wow. So that's a single Hadaka Tanki weight for Upin. The worst kind of tile you could wait it on. And we have a Ricci. Waiting its closed weight for Sanman. And flip dealt into Ipatsu. So that's Ricci, Ipatsu, Raichi. And no Dora. I really hope that we'll be able to continue the tournament with at least 5 games per round. So I said before that it's possible to drop out from a single game if you have some important business to take care of. Yeah, but we'll have to find the substitution for that, and in the worst case scenario, there will be buys issued for players that couldn't find their opponents, which is done to somewhat equalize the chances. But it would be the best if just everyone could play. And someone is in Japanese player is in Tenpai waiting for Ryan pin, and that's Hakunomi on the east. So he's one Haneman away from finishing the game, because he would need to cross the 50k boundary. And now his hand just looks like made for that. He's in E-Shanten for Chitoi, and for Chitoi Dora 3. So with Arichi, he will have Haneman ready. He just need to find his way into Tenpai or open the hand to make a Toi from that, but with he would need a pair of Uman to get Haneman out of that Toi. I think his best bet would be to stay closed and go for Chitoi. Lane is probably thinking about going open with the pawn of Haku. And whoa, what do you have here? Floop has a real possibility. Is that the Damaten? Yeah, that's Damaten. Chitoi Dora 3. But it won't be enough. Now it is enough. He's going for the kill, and with Aaron, as long as he won't run the flop, he will win, because then it will all depend on if Flop was his teammate or not. And Flop has both of Uman, which are winning tiles of JP player. Interesting, really interesting. I wonder how it's going to end. I don't think Flop will discard any Manzo tiles because he's going for closed Honitsu, and Bob is in E-Shanten as well for Pinfui Peiko. Is he going to do it? Is Flop going for closed Honitsu? No, he's not. He puts it out, and we have a Tsumo, which is going to finish the game. Because that's Richi, Tsumo, Chitoi, Dora 3. No Radora, but that's still a Haneman from east, so we have the finishing touch. So he managed to win the game without shadowrealming anyone. So congratulations, and judging by that, he 100% won. So let's check what other games are currently playing, and I will take a second to take care of certain business, and we'll be right back. back, so let's check the match of Nuxos, Meido, Akira and Boots. It's Nan Sankyoku. And 1 second. Alright, so I had to explain some things, but now we are back to the game. We have Meido going for Yakuhai Nomi, so playing safely. That's Ryanman wait for Kyuman and Sanman. Noxos is in Tenpai for Tanyao Doraichi, waiting also for Roman and Sanman. And I don't think Boots is going to discard any of his Kyuman, so yeah, we have a really nice Richie punish here. So Nuxos the smote the Tanyao Nomi. So you have Nan Yon Kyoku with Nuxos in the lead, Akira second, Meido third, and Boots last one. There is no Honba, so Nuxos would have to win with Haneman. No, with Baiman even, to be first in this game. So which hand would give him possible Baimon? He's not opting for Chitoi. So from what can I see, he's possibly going for Richie no Mirage, optimizing his hand to maximum tile efficiency. And I think he's going to end with Shampoo weight. So he disregarded the Sozo tile, Sozo set. That means he's going to look for his opportunities among Manzo tiles. Now he might be regretting. Yeah, that's the word. Regretting his decision of abandoning the Chitoi. He might also open the hand for Toy, but would that be worth it? We have Ishanten. What is he going to do? Huh, interesting. Very interesting. So what's the next step? Personally, I would discard the pair of ESO. But that's also a nice, fine choice. Because he's sticking for the Suji trapped weight with Shanpon for ESO and Suman. Meido. Ooh, that's a really nice draw. I wonder why he didn't discard the Q, the Uso. Maybe that was... No, that's not a misclick. Who is he afraid of? It was a safe tile. And to think he instead got rid of the nun, which would be a perfectly fine tile to have. Huh. He still insists of keeping that tile, and now we have Akire on Shanpon. No, that's Kantron weight. Kantron 8 for cheaping. But it's just Richinomi. Huh. Well, there are two of those remaining, and even though Meido and Boots want to discard the one... Well, Boots might discard the one he has. And is Nuxus going to Richie? Yes, he did. So that's Furitan weight. That's Furitan weight, which is almost expanded. I think that was the correct way to say it. And is Meido in Tenpai? No. Yes, he was in Tenpai for Itsu. But Akira won on Richinomi. And since he was the dealer, he will get another round. So Nuxus abandoning Kan right away. I think he will just go for straightforward Honitsu. Maybe with Toitei. It will all depend on his next few throws. Also, notice that he's trying to somehow mix up his discards, not to make the Honitsu obvious from the start. Now would be the best choice would be to discard this Rian Man or Paman. Boots also might have a nice hand if he'll be able to bank on the Anko of Chun. And Meido might have a possibility of Sananko, no Sananko, Sanshoku, with a 1-2-3 set. The same could be said about Nuxus, actually. It doesn't have to be Honitsu. He's theoretically in Ishanten for Sananko. Fuck me. Sanshoku. I should focus. Is he going to open? He is. So now he's in Tenpai. On Atsuzuka, wait for... for Roman. And Akira decided to abandon his Chitoi and go for Toitoi. So in his pursuit of Honitsu, is Boots going to discard the winning tile of Nuxos? It would be extremely unlucky. Sanshokunomi. What a way to thwart a possible Baiman. And with this we are going to the west round. And we have a luck here. Oh, that's a really solid one. I can see a Pinfui Peiko Dora Ichi. Or instead of Pinfu, there could also be Yakuhai. I wonder what Akira disconnected. And yeah, sadly no one. And I think that's the end. Richie Peiko Dora with Odora. It was oh man, if that was an Ipatsu, I think it would be over. But yeah, Nuxos is on draw, so he has a high chance of winning the game. Yeah, basically any kind of free hand will finish the deal, or $250 also could grant him victory. I don't see any interesting hand going here. Meido has basically nothing apart from that Anko of Chiso. Boots could set up a Chitoi, but his draws are not favoring him. And Akira, yeah, not much either. And Nuxos is in Ryanshanten, if I'm correct. Yep, now it's Ishanten. Ishanten with a possible interesting weight. So Akira is going all in, hoping for Toi Toi, and is Nuxos going to head to the Ipeiko, or not? I think he is, so that's Ishanten for Ipeiko. There is also a fun weight combination with an Anko of a certain tile and a tile 2 tiles away from it, which will grant you 3-sided weight. And he had an opportunity to get this, but he didn't. So now it's Ryanmen weight for U and Paman. And that's Richie Patsutsumo. And with those Ankos, I think it's going to be enough. Yep, that's the game. So another game ended up prematurely by a player going above 50k. Congrats to Nuxos, and I'll check really quick if we have any other game going. No, yes, we do. Or not. One more game is still going on. Other runs are going to be a little bit faster, I think. But there is still a possibility of swift victory, if else Dojan will get shadowrealmed or ZZZ will go above 50k. And we have a gamma in Ishanten for Honitsu. And that's a really nice Ishanten. You can basically call any pins the tile to get into Tenpai. ZZZ is having a Ishanten pinfu setup. Dojan, I think it's Ryanshanten, but it's looking pretty good as well. And Eigama decided to deny that pawn. Yeah, because that pawn would not give him Tenpai. And Goliath declared Richi. And that's a double Nobetan, yeah, that's Nobetan wait for Richi Tanyao, waiting for U and Papin. So Dojan is in the most danger of dealing him, since he has a Papin tile, which might tempt him. Yeah, in the next row of discards. I meant the next time he will have to discard something from his hand. And is that Tenpai? I think that's Tenpai, as long as he'll deal the Q pin. He didn't. He's afraid of the Richi. And ZZZ is also in Tenpai. Is that a Shanpan wait? Yeah. That's Shanpan for Ryan and Ropin. And Dojan dealt into Richi Tanyao. Nothing. So that won't be enough to murder him. But will make it considerably easier for other players. So Dojan is on a timer, since any kind of Hanuman Sumo. No, Hanuman Sumo will keep him. No, it won't keep him alive because he is the dealer. So now he has to focus on winning to stay alive. So his choice of action is to get a quick Chun Toi Toi, which he is in Ryanshanten for. Goliath is going to pursue it with his quick Honitsu. Wow, what a nice hand! So early in the game. One could be tempted to leave it closed, but when he saw the double pawn from Dojan, he decided that there is no point in waiting. And that's Tenpai. Yes, that's Tenpai. And let's count the weights. It's yeah, it's quite strange weight, because that's Ryanmen and Shampon both on the same tiles, so he has the 2 Ryan So and 1 Uso remaining. And a Gamma declared a Richi, waiting for Kanchan Papin, the one Goliath has just discarded, and he will discard yet again. And that's the... Oh yeah, Dojan has made his hand as well, so that's Richinomi from Egama and Chunnomi from Dojan. So the most lame double run of the century. Gamma has a nice Pinfu Tanyawa setup. ZZZ could go for Sananko. Dojan is just rushing his Hatsunomi, I guess. And... Oh. Goliath might have a nice hand. He would need to finish the other sequence. Now would be the time to discard Iman. Yep, that's correct. And we have a deal into Nomi. Hatsunomi. So we have 2 consecutive one-hand wins from Dojan. It might take a while for him to build up an advantage with this kind of playing. That hand could certainly rise a little bit more. There was no point in finishing it prematurely when you're the last one. That could be Dojan's chance at the Gyakuten, since that's I Shanten for Chitoi Tanyao Dora 2. He only needs one more pair. No Chitoi? No Chitoi. Huh. Wait a fucking second. Is ZZZ going for... No, he's not. He's not going for the Nin. That's sad. And Dojan got punished. Got punished by his Dumb decisions and abandoning the way of Chitoi. Serves you well. And yet again he discarded his possible turn into pinful by discarding that Q-man. So A Gamma is in Ishanten. Ishanten with possible Harabotta Tanki if you get bad draws. I don't think you should keep that Rian, man. You should discard it and hope for something else. I wonder why Goliath. Yeah, I know now. He's interesting. That's interesting Ishanten because he's waiting for an Anko to complete any of his 4 pairs to get into Tenpai. And he discarded the Dora, so now, only now Dojan is going to open his hand. But that's still not Tenpai. And Aigama can declare Richie in Furiten weight. If he wishes. No, that's not Furiten. That would be triple Nobetan. Waiting for Iman, Suman, and or Chiman. That's not Furiten, but that's not Pinfu either. It's just Richinomi with triple weight. And will Goliath deal into it? No, he didn't. Goliath defended himself pretty well. And now... What will happen? Dojan dealt in. So just Richie with Dora. So we'll be heading into the final game. My suffering already, please. Shadowrealmed. I think that setting up the the game to end in West round was a little bit of a mistake, but everything about this tournament is experimental, and most of the modes are going to be played for the first time ever. I wanted to be a little bit creative with setting it. That's why it's mysterious tournament in the end. But yeah, it definitely took too much time. A shame that ZZZ hadn't managed to get over the 50k threshold. So A Gamma is basically in Ishanten for Sanan Kotanya. And yeah, that's it. That's the template. Is he going to call? Yes. What? Why? Why? What? Why? I can't understand. Why have you done this? You could have Sananko. Fuck and me. Alright, so I'm going for a quick break. This is the final game of that round, so after that I'm going to check the scores and we'll roll the second round. So Finally. With Hatsunomi, you have finished this fucking long match, so I think that's it for the first round. And I will now publish the scoreboards.